Pilates jargon. I'm talking powerhouse, core, neutral spine. When it comes to Pilates, a lot of people try to make it really overcomplicated. And let's face it, if you're just taking a break from the middle of your day and your brain's been fried by work, you don't want another complicated thing when you're trying to relax. So I just want to debunk a few of those complications. My name's Karen. I do my best not to use jargon in my classes, but occasionally it's one of those things that just slips out. So I'm going to just talk you through some of my favorite little cues that I use in my classes. Ribs in. We have a tendency to want to let those ribs come out. When we're doing Pilates, we want to try and keep those ribs in. So get the feeling like you're allowing those ribs to pull backwards, or feel like your ribs are like a book and you're closing your ribs back together. Send the crown of your head too. We cue the crown of the head a lot. That's this bit and not this bit. And quite often we want it coming up to the ceiling, or we may want it coming to a wall in front of you. So all it means is if you just think about the back of your head, where's that heading? Lengthen through the back of your neck. We have a tendency to want to do this, or if we're looking at our phones, we want to do this. So feel like you are lengthening through the back of your neck. It gives you a little bit of a double chin, not a good look for a photograph, but you will get this beautiful sense of lengthening. One way of doing it, if you pop your fingertips behind your ears here and just feel that stretch and that length, and just gently draw your chin in. It feels really, really good. Spin your thighs. What does that mean? We like to kind of live in the outside of the thighs. So if I'm trying to get you to cue those thighs to come in together, I want you to feel that you're spinning your thigh bones inwards in the same way as I might ask you to spin your arm bones inwards. So if you just try that sitting, spin your thigh bones in towards each other, suddenly you get that lovely connection through the insides of your thighs. Ribs to the floor, or back of a t-shirt to the floor. It's a really common cue in my classes when we're lying on your back and I'm trying to get you to engage through the tummy muscles. Rather than tell you to squeeze your tummy, what I'm going to get you to do is press those ribs backwards. Why? Well, because your spine and your back tells the abdominals what to do, not the other way around. So I found it's much more effective for my class participants to really get the sense of pressing all of those ribs down into the floor behind them. Lengthen your spine. Sounds straightforward, but what it really means is to lift upwards, or if you're lying down on the floor, send the crown of the head one way, send your tailbone the other. So you really get this sense of elongating your spine and creating little gaps in between the vertebrae in your spine. Hips to ribs is another nice way of getting you to cue your abdominals, what some people like to call your powerhouse, but without actually getting you to feel that you're switching anything on. I'm going to stand up for this one. So from here, you want to feel that you draw your hips up towards your ribs rather than letting your tail hang out. So we just draw in and you get that connection of those hips coming up to the ribs. You shorten this gap and it's going to get you that connection through your tummy. Feel like your tailbone is light. What this means is when that pelvis is sitting on the floor, if that back starts to pooch that way, you'll feel heavy in the tail. So what we want to do instead is feel like you've got a lightness through your tailbone. So when you're lying on the floor, if I had a little piece of string attached to your tailbone and I would just lift it up, and that's going to really help you to feel that connection through your core. So they are just some of my little jargon busting tips for the day. If you've got anything else that you've heard in a Pilates class and you have no idea what it is, please, no question is too silly. I will do my best to find out for you.